been covering, at the lower, we've been covering access routing for 20 years. We've been covering SD-WAN for 10. I started our practice in SASE 3 years ago. And I have to say, every time I sit down for conversations or like panel discussions like the one we just had, I'm always learning something new. And so I'm really excited to present our next speaker to continue that intellectual discovery about what we're doing here with NAS. So next up is Bryan Horne. He's Vice President of Enterprise Digital Journeys. And Bryan is responsible for platform engagement, systems, and application engineering across Lumen sales, customer fulfillment, service assurance, and network domains. I don't know how he sleeps. He looks really fresh. He came back and he was ready, pumped up to give a great presentation. So Bryan, why don't you come on stage and join me?
All right. So Bryan Horne, Lumen. I've got responsibility for everything he said, I guess. But at the end of the day, responsibility for sales, responsibility for operations, and responsibility for network automation. So I'm here to talk to you a little bit about network powered by digital enablement. Before we get into this, let's talk a little bit about Lumen first. So the Lumen platform and its capabilities are grounded in extensive global infrastructure, all that allow us to deliver apps and data when and where they're needed most. The strategic mix of infrastructure assets includes 400,000 global route miles of fiber, dynamic connections to over 2,200 public and private data centers, more than 60 edge compute nodes, more than 150,000 on-net fiber locations, and then over 6,300 interconnects that, per the Center for Applied Internet Data Analysis, makes Lumen the #1 peered network in the world. So part of the Lumen network is a US intercity edge network that's known for its high capacity, ultra-low loss fiber network and is one of the largest in the world. Research indicates that a robust fiber backbone is of paramount importance to IT managers, with 90% of them saying this is critical to running cloud-native applications. With this extensive infrastructure as our foundation at Lumen, we have unified critical IT capabilities to include software-defined networking, hybrid cloud diversity, managed orchestration, and integrated security, all to produce a unified application delivery option that supports businesses, governments, and communities, and ultimately enables them to adopt emerging technologies. The fundamental value of the Lumen platform is that, with these elements working in harmony, we can simplify the delivery of our customers' applications on a high-performance, secure, worldwide solution that places the right application at the right place using a digital-first mentality. Our ability to natively combine these critical capabilities is what enables Lumen to deliver the fastest, most secure platform for next-gen applications and data. Ultimately, at Lumen, we understand people don't want to just buy an individual service. They want a foundation. They want a platform. They want to enable their next-gen digital experiences. That's exactly what the Lumen platform does. So an enterprise's success is based on their applications, and IT departments want to create an environment where those applications can run efficiently and effectively to meet the needs of the business. Today, that adaptable IT ecosystem is created through a combination of private data centers, centralized cloud, third-party data centers, and edge compute. NAS can provide the same agility and networking that enterprises enjoy with their own demand cloud-centric app environments. So let's face it, if you're in the telco industry, we all have very similar challenges. Traditional buying methods are no longer relevant across a customer base that finds great value in buying, consuming, and using instantaneously. There was a Gartner survey in 2022 that found that 83% of B2B buyers prefer ordering or paying through digital commerce. And in that same survey, 44% of millennials prefer no sales rep interaction at all during a B2B purchasing motion. Customers also don't want to be tied down with long-term contracts. that limit their abilities from a service perspective or from a bandwidth perspective. Full lifecycle management of a network service is often too complex and requires multiple touch points cobbled together by human glue. So let's dive into that a little bit. So through delivery, through orchestration, through assurance, there is substantial friction that is often created with those touch points. We have a lot of humans. Those humans do one thing. They perform one function and then they move on to the next. That creates a great deal of friction within that customer experience. You know, another challenge I was thinking about is API first, which for technologists like myself are not a new concept. They are very challenging to deploy across many of our legacy applications and our legacy ecosystems. At the end of the day, we all have proprietary gifts. Those proprietary gifts are often siloed, and they don't have shared automation, and they don't have bundling capabilities. So I was listening to a little bit of the conversation before I came out. I'm gonna say something different, because at Lumen, we don't look at NAS as if it's a product. We look at NAS as if it's an experience. New capabilities delivering and managing network must be evident for us to remain relevant as customer demands are changing rapidly. Customers are demanding things like self-serve capabilities supporting a dynamic experience, easy to use products that flex up and flex down based on demand. They want their compute and application-based services to be as accessible as their cloud-based services. They want proactive automations that drive consistency in how network is delivered and how network is managed. And they want bundling capabilities that go up stack, that ride on top of connectivity, and they're instantaneously delivered. So earlier this year, in early August, Lumen launched Internet on Demand, which was our first foray into NAS. And I want to talk to you a little bit about what that is and what that means from a Lumen perspective. So once you complete entitlement with any multi-use port that's on the Lumen network, you can activate service within 5 minutes across the #1 peered global network in the industry. So let's take a use case. So if you're you're in a data center and you want access to the Lumen internet, it's available within 5 minutes. Customer can order Internet on Demand from our NAS manager. That connection can be established within minutes from the data center fabric to the internet. The customer can order a fabric connection. The connection within the fabric between the customer and the Lumen port is established, and boom, the customer is active, all taking place within minutes. If you need to flex bandwidth, Lumen has options. 10 meg, 1 gig, 10 gig, 100 gig, or 10 gig, excuse me. All of that is available today, fully symmetrical. If you need protection from an active DDoS account or attack, that solution is just clicks away. And then feature changes like IP block allocation and BGP routing changes all can be made within our NAS manager, and they're executed within minutes. For us at Lumen, consumption-based billing is a game changer, especially in today's hybrid working environment. So why pay for peak rates during non-peak times when you can burst on demand when you need it? Lumen Internet on Demand allows you to utilize bandwidth at your discretion. So we also understand that from an enterprise perspective, reliability truly matters. And when you look across our fiber optic network, we hit 99.99% SLAs, not only for our traditional DIA internet product, but for Lumen Internet on Demand as well. We offer 24/7 network monitoring and 24/7 chat support all across our platform. Network visibility is managed through our console, all accessed with the same account credentials for entitlement-based buying. So we've built a network visibility dashboard that provides 5-minute performance readings. You have the ability of going in, looking at your peaks, looking at your the valleys, and then leveraging all of those data points to adjust your network consumption dynamically within our NAS management console. So from a security perspective, we've got a couple of DDoS offerings, including network protection services and managed firewalls at data centers. But what is of paramount importance is that ease of management and usability is key across this product. One login, one portal, and you can action everything. So I've talked a little bit about like the whys across the industry, why NAS is important, and I've talked a little bit about our internet on demand product from a Lumen perspective, but let's talk about the technology. So how are we doing this? And there's 5 main points here, though you see ServiceNow twice, so we're gonna count them as one. But really, from a digital marketplace perspective, we have an e-com platform. That e-com platform is available at lumen.com. That supports both our learn and our entitlement portions of our journey. We've got white papers, we've got blogs, we've got pricing sheets, all publicly available today across that digital marketplace. And once you've signed up and you're established as a potential customer, we'll shift you into the second piece, which is our NAS manager. So part of our portfolio is available in the NAS manager, and they're modularized products that can be composed together to build a complex solution that solves customer problems. So our NAS manager today is a thin client UI, and it provides visibility into managed locations when multi-use ports already exist, provides visibility into data center connections, provides the ability to qualify and quote seamlessly locations specific to that entitled customer, and then you can add feature functionality like IP block selection and BGP routing. All of this is powered by number 3, which is an API, a robust API layer. And our API first design and component-driven capabilities seamlessly support the customer journey and service management. So NAS APIs will be used by customers, partners, and then they power the UX as well. So one suite of APIs, not a differentiated experience, everything is the same. All of our transactions are powered by the same API layer built on top of a cloud-based resource. This resource layer includes a caching mechanism that greatly improves interface performance across all requested actions. Once you're entitled and onboarded, you can hit a variety of NAS API endpoints that are all published in both a sandbox and a production environment. Functions like location, qualification, ordering, and service management are all available via APIs. All of our APIs are RESTful-based. All of them use OAuth 2 authorization as well. So post-order submit, we'll move into number 4 and number 5 here and start talking a little bit about ServiceNow. So with our initial implementation of NAS, we had over 20 consolidated integration points that we initially implemented. The role of ServiceNow within the Lumen ecosystem is it really bridges the gap between our target state cloud-based architecture and our legacy application footprint. So ServiceNow provides scalable capabilities that consolidate systems, simplify our orchestrated processes, and provide customers with enabling self-serve capabilities. Such functionality results in interval improvements and also reductions in cost of infrastructure and asset management, and then an improved customer experience. So why ServiceNow? The catalog capabilities, the decomposition rules, our ability to create one layer 3 protocol activation process and use that natively across DIA and use that across our internet on demand product is truly powerful. The extensibility, we believe, the consistency that the ServiceNow platform provides is game-changing for Lumen. My IT department, we're quicker to get to market. Our speed is greatly improved. And at the same time, we've driven a more consistent experience because we're reusing the same composable solutions over and over and over again. I mean, at the end of the day, from a network perspective, a uni is a uni, a port is a port, right? So why have multiple code bases? Why have multiple experiences where you have differentiated layer 2 and layer 3 products on top of that? A port's a port. Build it once, consume it once, API enable it, and that's part of the power that we believe the ServiceNow platform provides for us. I'll wrap just a few of our management principles that we deployed our internet on demand product with. We really looked at modularity, we really looked at extensibility, we really looked at scaling the platform, making it reusable, driving that consistent experience. We also built a ton of intent-based interfaces and a functional abstraction layer that truly simplifies all of the functionality across that platform for our customer base. I appreciate the time to be here today. It's my first MEF conference, by the way, so I didn't mention that earlier. But I appreciate you having me here, and I hope everyone has a good rest of the day. Thank you so much.